Big fan, big fan.
Oh man.
Right back at you. Let's get to the city. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna get this thing set. Hey, Mel, do you mind if I call you Mel? Not at all.
Today collapsed. The nows collapsed. The nows of today collapsed.
We got that kind of star power. And while it's a gift, this body we have today.
I'm doing it.
My girlfriend, Sandra.
Girlfriend? We just met a week ago.
Nice to meet you. Now we're all
It's a note to self because if I don't do this, I might forget.
We need to go. And right back here in the city with you.
Star. Star is the word of the day. I did it before. I did it before.
And now, in light of the fact that he is who knows where, I'm starting to have about our arrangement. So are we just gonna...
The paramount beginning. The paramount beginning normally has 5 stars. There are 5-pointed stars, but those are 6-pointed stars. So, well, I guess I'm gonna have to do this in a different way. Fuck. Hold tight. Hold tight. Because I started, and I don't want to stop. For your viewing pleasure. For some reason, that's a big deal lately. Comes up over and over again. Chrysler Building. I don't know why, except for the fact that it's not talked about because it's not the tallest. It's only the 3rd tallest, or whatever. You know, never mind however much in New York or the world or whatever, but. It might be like one of the most harmonic buildings ever built. Very beautiful. Mysterious. Beautiful, and what little I've seen of it just online. I've never been there. I might have been around it. I went to New York City a couple times, only a few times, you know, but it's not talked about. But it's shown a lot. It was in the TV show Heroes. My opinion, it was alluded to in the movie Big. It was in Sorcerer's Apprentice. Obviously in this movie. Actually, well, no, it was explicitly and implicitly in the movie Big. But something about the Chrysler Building, man. Star. Hope I get there. I'm not sure if I can do this like this. I'm going to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 year ago, a shadow fell over our city. Suddenly it was under siege by the notorious villain Shredder. Along with his army of enforcers, the Foot Clan, Shredder ruled our streets. Until one day, from out of the shadows stepped a beacon of hope. He was just a humble cameraman, but when danger struck the heart of our city, he single-handedly battled Shredder, locking him up behind bars. And now, turn your attention courtside, where Jill Martin meets a man who later this week will receive an honorary key to the city. Please welcome Vern the Falcon Henry!
Yeah, well, this arrangement has us more like sick with the nose.
Okay, Star. I'll just talk it. Fuck it.
I'm at Grand Central Station staking out Dr. Baxter's stuff.
Star. On the like etymology of it, it's related to the Swedish st.john, Swedish fish. stjerna, right? In English, S is also associated with C and Z, and it's also associated, though not as popularly, with F in a double S sense.
Thank you.
It's all carrot. So star goes way back to the whole like stjerna, Dutch, Swedish, blah blah blah, whatever, to the Proto-Indo-European STER. But then of course there's star. If you, I don't know much about grammar or phonetics, but like if you make the A hard, it's stare. So star, and then we have the 5 and the 6 on the paramount, which is the V and the V, because the Roman V is 5 and the Grecian V is 6, and I put it on or it came up on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing, which I used to watch on my UHF antenna TV set from WLVI 56 out of Boston. So the V of the Romans 5, the V of the Grecians 6. So they say, what do I know? Pi or phi? 5 to the 12th. Plus 5 to the negative 12. But Yeah, star. So it's associated with the Z and the C, the S's. So if we make the S a C, it's CTAR. But if we flip some letters around, it's CART, cart, chariot, carrot. If we turn it to a Z and reuse some of the letters, we get Zoroaster. Stare, the eye, the eyes. Stare, stairs going up. Spiral staircase. That's also another point too about like the pointing up thing, which is related to St. John, and I can't remember the Grecian figure it's related to. But it's another interesting thing that the pointing up symbol was so big back in the day, and I always think of things as they are symbolized now, and I never think of the way they're symbolized and the way they were hidden then. Or now, but I don't always think as much about the way they were hidden then. And when I used to work construction, I briefly did some brickwork and some stonework. And like after you build the chimney, like after, at least in the case where I did it, like you put in the mortar to like finish off the brickwork, or if like a chimney's crumbling and you have to remortar it, it's called pointing up. Right? Like you're pointing up, hey, go point that up. Go point that up. It's kind of like in painting they call it cutting in. Like when you take your brush and you cut in a wall so you can roll it after. You know, the first time I heard the word cutting in, I was like, huh? Cutting? I thought I was painting. And the first time I heard the word pointing up, I was like, pointing up? What the fuck that? You know? But it was all built in that way. And it's interesting that all that artwork was made in the whole deal with like the Masons and so on, right? So like pointing up, it's a reference to St. John, yes, but it's also a reference to Masonry and all that kind of stuff, right? And I'm not for or against Masonry. My stand on it, in so much as I've studied, is that Masonry, like every other organization on the planet, was created by the them of thems, who basically nomadically travel around the world like bumblebees, fertilizing ideas. They build something, they fertilize something, and they move on to the next thing, and they come back to it when they need to. Because they're nomads, and they don't get mad. I still get mad. I'm not a nomad. I stay right here, as you've seen in my videos. Notice how my place hasn't changed very much. Or, you know, I'm still in the same place. So yeah, I'm not for or against, because I don't know. I don't know. But as an important institution that was fertilized by the nomads. It's interesting that the whole pointing up refers to masonry, whether it be brick or rock. Never mind whether it be dry or wet. What is the pointing up of dry masonry? I've never thought of that before. What is the pointing up of dry masonry? I'll have to think on that. But with star, you get the C, catar, catheter, cart. And then if you put the C and the T and the S and all that, then you also get czar. When you get a czar, you get a phoenix. And also the right, star is also when you make it a verb instead of a noun. I just looked it up. It's related to like 1590. I don't know where it came about in 1590, but like when you star in something, it's related to acting. So though actually I guess the whole 1590 thing, that would be related to like England and plays and all that kind of thing. And then so in that time period, give or take 100 years, then you're pretty much talking about Shakespeare. And you're talking about the printing press, and you're talking about, when you're talking about Shakespeare, you're talking about Francis Bacon. Or Roger Bacon. And yeah, it's related to the word asterisk. So then you get aster and ester, essence. Asters and esters, alchemy, flavonoids. Asters being associated with the nose form of tongue flavonoids. Flav. The clock. Gears and mechanics, right?
Hey, Mr. Shredder, big fan of your work, especially your art stuff. My name is beebop. This is rock.
Still working on it, got a lot of work to do.
His ancestors off the pit. Yeah, that's right. Fish. That's when I started beat down. I'm always finished, yeah. What? Yeah, I said it. I said it. My bad. Back there.
Rubber band gears. Yeah, but asterisks. So you get star, asterisks. Zoroaster's pretty well, you know. A Scrabble player could get there pretty quick. Which is also rats backwards. So then you get the up above and you get the underground. Also rats. Splinter. Ninja Turtles. Rats is also like kind of shorthand for ration. Rationalism. Which these days is associated with science, which does a lot of studies with rats. I know, you can dice things certain ways, right? You can dice things certain ways, and I understand, like, being poetic with language. Like, you can go from one thing to any other thing in a short number of steps, just like the 6 or 7 degrees of separation with people in the world and all that kind of thing, right? But there is a specific structure, just like there really is a specific, exact, rational. And don't think that there ain't some couple mad scientists in underground bunkers who got this shit fucking mapped out to a T. Don't think that that doesn't exist, because it does. And if it doesn't now, it does in the future. And if time travel's possible, it means that it does now and it always has. Alpha and the Omega, huh? But yeah, with like mitochondrial DNA and all that, and like tracing shit back through the moms. Like so 6 degrees, 7 degrees of separation, yeah, people can be connected. Yeah, same thing with words and all that, and letters and the way to use symbolism. But there is an exact structure and an exact tree, just like with philology and all that kind of thing. But teleological philology incorporates the future and the entire globe. And ultimately, it's our job to build it in our mind. Yeah, I guess this is mostly just a note. I guess I fantasize that someday I'll have the time to go back and watch all my videos and like take notes on them. And I had a vision, where like exactly what I was gonna do was like spelled out. And for some reason, the nownesses of today keep collapsing upon me doing this instead. Perhaps it's an effort not to lose things, because I will forget tomorrow what I just said today. It's not like I know this stuff. It comes in, it comes out, tomorrow something else comes in, and what came out today comes out here tomorrow, and I don't remember it anymore until I come back and look at my shit. It's just a different way of taking notes. It's kind of like they say, like money. Like money. The value of money is worth the paper it's printed on. Same with words, in saved in digital memory and all that kind of stuff. Which a lot of times, like the money, papers, blah blah blah, worth money it's printed on, worth what is money's worth the paper it's printed on, all that kind of thing is a lot of times an argument for like gold, silver, all that kind of stuff. Paper, and gold and silver, yeah, it's important for what it can do and for what it is as an element in the body, in the world, in the cosmos. But the same thing with paper, man. Like, there's so much that I take for granted, and I have so much material wealth. Like, no one in their right mind would ever like wish upon themselves the form of material wealth that I have, but I recognize, like, it's great riches, but one of the things I do appreciate more than the average bear is paper. My boss was telling me one time how he went to like a parent-teacher conference with his kid, and they were talking about like what's the greatest, it was like a question, it was like a parent-teacher day it was a private school, at a school, and they were like, what's the biggest innovation in human history, And anyway, the classroom settled upon, I guess, clothing, because that's what made it so we could go here, go there, be in cold climates and all that. That's a good argument, and I can't disagree with that. But for me, paper, man. Paper. But then that also comes back to like just like chalk and a chalkboard, wax tablets, drawing on the sands with a stick. But then that comes back to the whole idea before there was paper. Depends on the type of paper too. Wood pulp versus hemp paper, all that kind of thing. You know, what really lasts and how it's dissolved versus papyrus, which is like practically doesn't last at all. But then that goes into the whole idea of story and the way that information was built into story so that it could be retained. And how, you know, because I think of the Coptics, like for the most part, Coptic shit is just all the little ticks, right? But part of that is because ticks are easy to make. So my thought is, you know, and I guess I haven't studied them that much, so I'm speaking out of my ass right now, but you know, they might do their geometry on sand boards, you know, boards with sand on them with sticks instead of a piece of paper or wax tablets or maybe papyrus or paper or whatever that's been lost, you know. But if their symbols matched their geometry perfectly, then when they wrote the symbols, they didn't need the pictures, right? And that's what math is supposed to be. It's supposed to be all geometry and segments. Numbers are, you know, for the Greeks, all segments and so on. So a lot of the whole idea of like digitization, never mind like base system digitization, unmarried from geometry is a lot of it's poo-poo, you know. But in so much, if it's true, it will always relate back to geometry. Always. So for any math that's out there that's proven, I don't give a fuck that I don't know a lot about stuff. I know enough to know that if you can't do it with circles and lines and spheres, you know, if you can't do it geometrically, it can't be done.
We'll go with. I'll break school.
Wait. The sun's coming up. You can't go outside. You'll be seen.
The notorious criminal known as Shredder escaped police custody last night.
Where he was serving a life
One
sentence.
has under progress, but a police chief saying he will stop at nothing after
Anyway, Star. Aster, Zoroaster's built into it, especially now with the English code.
spiritual fits, organized crime.
I have jurisdictional authority.
You forfeited jurisdiction, and you proved to be an authority.
Also interesting, yeah, 1590 associated with the word asterisk.
The most notorious criminal this city has ever seen, and we had him. Now he's out there. And where did you recover this highly secured vehicle?
Found it under the GW bridge. Abandoned.
Anyway, yeah, the whole thing is that there is a structure, but the whole thing is to build it in our mind. And people have done that throughout cultures, throughout the ages. And the nomads have been bebopping around and grabbing others of their kind to bebop with them until we get to an event horizon or to a critical mass when we all see it the way they do and bebop with them.
Time off, Jones. I'm pulling you off the payroll.
Hey, I'm not crazy. I know what I saw. Look, I can help you catch these guys.